Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Novice Racer GT3 Championship Round 1 at the Redbull Ring. I am Jace Parfitt. I'm going to be joined alongside with Mr. Alex Goldschmidt. He's going to come and join me for this 7-round series. We have just finished qualifying. We will be going into the race very, very shortly. We've got enough time to bring you up the calendar. You can see we're starting off at the Redbull Ring. Sunny conditions, then on to Monza. Villeneuve will be in the rain. Okayama will be cloudy. Road Atlanta for round 5 will be cloudy as well. Hockenheim Ring sunny as well. And to finish off at Autodromo de Jose Carlos Pache or in the Lagos for the last round on the 8th of June. What have we got lined up for you? Well, there's two 20-minute heats here as well. First race will be 20 minutes, grid set by qualifying. Second race will be 20 minutes with a full reverse grid. Championship points are split into 2 groups. Group 1 are the faster class, Group 2 are the slower class. So Group 1 is in purple, Group 2 is in teal green, if you want to call it that. First place in each group will get 15 points, second will be 12, third will be 10, then 8, 6, 4, 2, 1 for 8th place. If you're outside of 8th place, you will be on 0. So there are a couple of people who are on 0 now as well, ready for this one. We will begin bringing you up the grid very, very shortly. Don't forget, guys, if you are here for the first time, like, subscribe, turn on the bells. That would be absolutely amazing. But let's bring Mr. Alex Goldschmidt into the booth. Alex, welcome in.
Hello, buddy. How you doing? All good from
all right,
my side. Looking forward to this one. It's going to be fast. It's going to be frantic at times, but a good format.
Yeah, full reverse grid for race 2 is going to make it very interesting indeed.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It always puts the cat amongst the proverbial pigeons. But, yeah, what a place to start, the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg. And, yeah, 2.7 miles, 10 turns, and a lot of elevation change, a lot of slipstreaming. So it gets some of the drivers, especially in the slow group, to really get used to these GT3 machines. Yeah,
definitely. As I say, it's going to be very, very interesting indeed. Let's bring you up the grid for race number 1. Jack Ashton is on pole position here with Tommy Botero, then Ian Knox and Stefan Klarman in 4th, then Matt Warner, Jan Janchik, then we've got Ben Mitchell, then Jerry Werner leading class number 2 with Eric Orchin, Alistair Clark, Nick Green and Luke Edwards are below that one in 12th place. Then you've got Tim Wybrow, Steve Whitman, Parker Enquist, Andrew Pratt and George Medacost finishing off the grid there as well. JP, you have double commentary going on. What do you mean double commentary? Please let me know what that means.
Oh, what, Steve Webb, who's currently marshalling the bikes at Brands?
Yeah, apparently there's double commentary. I don't know quite sure what that means unless there is an echo coming from somewhere, which I am not aware of. Steve, give me 2 seconds and I'll try and resolve it on that one.
Unless there's someone else nearby him that's playing the broadcast at the same time, for all we know. But hey, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, it should be a good one. I mean, 17 cars, good amount of horsepower on the grid. We should be in for a cracker here, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Should well be as well. Give us 2 seconds, guys. While they're on the pace lap, there is an issue with one of the sounds. Just give me 2 seconds. They are on a pace lap. We will catch them before they start. Been going back in, guys. Hopefully you can hear us. Hopefully there is only one voice coming through as these guys are heading up to Remus or turn number 3, depending on who and what you count out. No, Andrew Pratt and George Medacost taking to the grid. So we do have 15 cars at the moment who's ready to race around here as well. Let us know in YouTube chat if you have still got an echo. I'm not quite sure if you have, where it's coming from, because it's not showing up on my screen. But let us know in that one. As you said, fast, frantic, short laps around here, Alex. 10 turns. It's going to be a little bit manic.
Yeah, plus you've also got the significant elevation changes going through Nicky Lauda at turn 1, then up the hill to Remus at the top of the hill, then down to Schlossgold, Rauchwerth, Rindt, Redbull, Mobile, because from from Remus all the way down, that's where it's a bit like Nemesis at Alton Towers, if anyone might remember that good old chestnut. I did. I remember going on that, and that was not exactly the most pleasant of experiences, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, it's not a roller coaster. I think as you get older, your fear levels go up through the roof, to be blatantly honest, and then you look at things and think, I'm probably going to break a hip if I go on that, so I really don't want to be doing that.
And I might soil myself in the process as well and have a code brown for good measure.
But that's one way of putting it, Alex. Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, well, that is. We could say plenty of un-PC terms about that behind the scenes, but never mind.
Good job we kept it politically correct, isn't it? We have got Metacost and Pratt in the pit lane. So we'll keep an eye out and see how they go and whether or not they're going to rejoin the grid. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hold on to your hats. The green is already going to drop. Jack Ashton's leading the way. He's gone already. Tommy Patero tucked in behind him, and the first race is up and running. And Ashton leads the way going into turn number 1. Ian Knox in that Mustang alongside the Acura of Stefan Klarman. They're running side by side as well. Klarman on the outside got it a little bit pushed out there, and that's brought the car in behind as well. Jan Janchik in that Porsche tucked in right behind him with Ben Mitchell. It's a 4-car fight here. This is going to be interesting as they head up the hill into turn number 3. Is Klarman in that Acura going to take the inside line? He's looking to try, but he's jeopardized that exit. He's had to tighten it up there. Alex couldn't get the exit, but Tommy Patero chasing down Jack Ashton.
Yeah, looks like Matt Warner also got past Klarman in the meantime as we ride on board with the Finn in the I think it's the number 8 Ferrari 296 GT3. So it's Ferrari from Ferrari, and then Ian Knox and Matt Warner in the 2 Mustangs. So Klarman in the Acura, Janchik, and then Mitchell in the first of the McLarens, being closely followed by Jerry Werner in the number 7, the sister McLaren in the number 7, and he leads the way in the Group 2 classification. Alistair Clark now 9th, with Eric Orchin 2nd in Class 2, rounding out your top 10. So good, clean first lap. Andrew Pratt and George Metakos have finally ended up on the circuit, but they're a little ways behind everybody else. Or have they actually exited the pit lane? Yes, they both have. But Ashton leads quite convincingly by 3.5 tenths of a second from Patero going into turn 2 as Janchik gets a little bit of opposite lock, has to correct. Porsche doing Porsche things, my friend, once again.
Already on lap 2, 18 minutes to go. Piercy, welcome in. I don't hear an echo, so think you're good. Thank you very much for that one. I've got a funny feeling I know what that is. I had the YouTube thing open and it wasn't muted, so I've got a funny feeling it was playing it at the same time. Matt Warner has unfortunately just gone round, has had Ben Mitchell and Jerry Werner. And this is what happened to Warner here, coming up into the right-hander. And unfortunately, he's going to get a nice little tap from the Acura. And around he goes. Ben Mitchell then ends up flying off the side of the circuit as well. We'll catch up with his and see what happened there. Was there contact with Jerry Werner leading the way at the moment, or was there not? Oh, there definitely was. Jerry
that was Shadow Realm-esque right there.
Yeah, it did look a little bit chaotic. It definitely did look a little bit chaotic there, Alex. But at the moment, Ashton leading the way. Patero's not giving up, though. Half a second in behind him.
No, I think this is going to be the sharp end battle that we got, with Werner leading green in Class 2. With Edwards a further just under half a second back. I mean, you look how close the top 4 are in Class 2 as well. The gaps are no more than 7 tenths of a second, whereas Ashton and Patero have gotten away from Knox to the tune of about 2.6 seconds. So, yeah, I think Class 2 is where the real battle's going to be. But, yeah, Tommy Patero, the Finn, behind Jack Ashton. doing a really good job just keeping with them at the moment.
Yeah, it definitely is. Nick Green tucked in behind Jerry Werner. I'd be quite upset if that was me, says Piercy. Piercy, I know how you react there, son. Nick Green got a little bit of a love tap from the Mercedes there of Luke Edwards. So I fully agree with you, Piercy. I probably would have heard a lot of DMs coming my way if this was you in any league there as well. But Eric Orchin now alongside here. He's going to look up the inside at the moment of Nick Green. Green shuts him off, almost gets a little bit of a love tap from the Mercedes. They did near enough take it 3-1.
Oh,
they crashed
no.
almost on the way there. Oh, my God.
Deary me, everyone's definitely had their ready break this morning. Jerry Werner's got no front bumper, but it was a pinball wizardry.
Got a funny feeling there was more to that. I am going to go back here. Bear with me just 2 seconds.
Yeah, there was a little touch between the Porsche and the Mercedes, then the Corvette comes in.
Slid.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I knew there was more to it. Nick Green was already loose in that Porsche, Alex. There wasn't a lot anybody around him can do there, bud. I've got to be honest, that could be on Nick Green.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate because you're trying to size you're trying to size up the next corner, and too much steering input can really sort of, especially with the Porsche 911, it will turn that on a sixpence, as in rotate the back axle quite quickly. So yeah, that's a real shame for Nick Green. It's George Metakos and the number 13 Acura is closing in. You can see the front end damage to Eric Orchin's Corvette. That's definitely not going to buff out.
No, it definitely isn't. So we'll see what goes on with these guys now. How are they going to handle this? Are they going to be able to fight? Okay, is it not going to affect any aero or anything along them lines? Well, keep an eye out because the action's still going to come thick and fast. Tim Wybrow, he's now overtaken Eric Orchin. Orchin on the outside in that damaged Corvette. You can see Nick Green has just sent out the inside of George Medicos. There's a little bit of love bumps, but the interesting thing for me is that gap up front with Ashton starting to expand a little bit here. Alex is now 6/10 with Tommy Patero tucked in behind.
Yeah, they're running quite consistently the same sort of lap times, a 1:36.49 last time round for Ashton, 1:36.97 for Patero. So they're pretty much on even pace, but Ashton just adds another tenth to that nice little gap that he's got over the Finn in second position. Then back to the Mustang of Ian Knox. It's 3.5 seconds and climbing. As Knox just flinging it through with reckless abandon going through into turn one. He just about caught that. And that could have been very, very nasty had it gone snapping axles back to front.
Yeah, definitely. Could have been a little bit of danger. I'm going to keep an eye on this. Andrew Pratt, Orchin, Edwards, Medicos, Nick Green a little bit further up. Orchin there in that Corvette. Up between Edwards in the Merc and Pratt in the Porsche. Pratt's running side by side. They're going to be side by side up the hill. No, they're not. You can tell somebody had to slow down there. Mr. Eric Orchin may have just caught one because he backed right off. But Andrew Pratt trying to make his way forward here. He is in class number one. He should be effectively quicker. That's almost like a pro and am, I think, would be the easiest way of defining it. But these guys in this little bit of draft train from Edwards to Metakos to Green to Enquiries and to Wybrow, kind of stuck there at the moment, not really making inroads because everybody's catching draft from the car in front.
Yeah, Edwards has got no front bumper, a bit like Jerry Werner, who is still leading Class 2. So yeah, it looks like someone's just decided, yeah, I'll just give that a little bit of surgery and just rip that bumper off. Well, that was after the contact with Nick Green a little bit earlier when the Porsche started doing Porsche things, and then the Corvette unfortunately got involved as a direct consequence of Orchin. So Parker Enquist looking rather racy in P3 in Class 2 as Andrew Pratt makes his way through on Luke Edwards in the number one Mercedes. But again, it's just these drivers, this is the first sort of really get the feelers out race. Metakos trying to go a bit brazen. He was 2 wheels on the grass down the start-finish straight there.
Oh, he sent it. You're not stopping that. Or is he stopping it? He isn't. But Nick Green comes through. Nick Green sees the opportunity. He goes, thank you very much. I'll have some of that. Metakos went in deeper than a stone in the ocean. And now he's just lost a place. He sent one, lost one. Pratt gained one. Enquist come out of that losing 3. How did he end up doing that?
Yeah, it just goes to show how quickly things can change on a sixpence here at the Redbull ring. You can fling it in deep, and then all of a sudden you gain a place, you lose that place, then someone else completely profits because everyone's squabbling. And it's all about track position here at the Redbull ring, plus also that big thing in GT3 racing, carrying momentum.
Yeah. Plus, we've got race 2 coming up for a full reverse grid, so look out for that one. As Nick Green is running side by side with Medicos, Alex.
Yeah, heading into Verth as Nick Green goes into the kitty litter as Andrew Pratt up the inside, Porsche versus Porsche, and then through on the run down to Rince. So, yeah, I mean, just some things are now starting to stabilise. Everyone's starting to get into a rhythm, but when we have that reverse grid race 2, all bets are off, folks.
It's going to go completely... It will either go really right or completely Pete Tong. Let's just put it that way. And Nick Green now is under there. He's got Pratt in front of him. Pratt's chasing down the Acura of Medicos. We've got the leaders back together again. Patero only 2 tenths back at the moment. You should be able to see, maybe not quite just see them guys, but we'll let this play out to Remus before we jump back up on front. Green's going to lose a bit of time. I feel Pratt's going to make a dive here. Which way is he going to go? Medicos sends him Dumoulin to the outside. Pratt thinks better of it. Tucks him right behind, and these 4 back together again. Check in quickly on what's happening with Ben Mitchell and Jerry Werner. Completely different class battles. Mitchell's got all of his car. Werner's missing quite a bit of his.
And that's going to give that McLaren 720 SGT3 chronic understeer. But if he can keep that car going, as Medicos is ahead of Wybrow, but there's contact between the 2 McLarens. And, well, the other McLaren's got a slightly loose front bumper, but a bit more intact than the car in front.
Yeah. Ben Mitchell there. Wow, we'll have a look back. I just want this to play out up into turn number 9. They're battling side by side in behind them as well. Lots taking shape here. You can see the guys almost running, taking it free wide. Edwards, Enquist, Wybrow. No, but Wybrow's on the loose. He's on the loose. He was loose. Oh, they're going to go free wide into the final corner.
And Wybrow and Edwards. Oh dear. Good spatial awareness though by Eric Orchin in the 12th Corvette. He managed to keep out of that one, but this is the moment when Mitchell hits the back end quite hard.
Oh, he literally ran him over. I thought I was like NASCAR styling. And then these guys taking this free wide. There's the first loose bit. Then he goes free, and then he just sends it up the inside. And then bish, bash, bosh. It all goes Pete Tong. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
What can you say about that? What can you say about that? It's, as I said, it's the first race of this season, and it's the race where everyone's trying to get a gauge of the opposition, and that's when early mistakes in this series will happen. I mean, the good thing is, what I do like the fact is that there are points for each group, so everyone's got the equal opportunity for going for a win. But Mitchell gets completely sideways. And slightly touches the gravel, not once, but twice.
Oh, he got it wrong. Medicos gone through. Pratt's now closing down on the back of him as well. That McLaren is not looking very, very handy at the moment for Mitchell. It's more looking like Bambi on ice than anything else at this current time. He runs a little bit wide again. He's got to be careful of Pratt in that white Porsche coming up behind him. All three, Mitchell. Dude, if you dive there, you are literally coming from a mile back. Oh, he did.
He's gone for it.
Oh, my God.
He was trying to do a Medicos on Medicos at that point, and now the 2 Porsches, Green and Pratt, side by side. Green to the outside in the high-vis Porsche, with the body in white on the inside of body in white Porsche. Oh, and Pratt tags the back of Mitchell, who goes grass cutting. Nearly tags Medicos on the right rear, who narrowly avoids, and Green round the outside.
Do you know why that was? There's movement in the braking zone, I think.
Yeah.
Watch that McLaren. Pratt's already gone.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe a little bit of movement over from Mitchell. And then he goes up, goes into green. Green manages to scoot round the outside. There's all a little bit of a punt to pass scenario going on. Let's pick up with Patero and Ashton up front at the moment. Both men in the Ferrari. Here, Ashton in front in that purple car. Patero in behind him. Now these guys are going to fight it out for the last 6 minutes. Edwards and Whitman, or Whitman I should say, have just swapped places. Edward has just gone through. Orchin's in pit lane. Patero gets on the gas coming out of Remus. Gets a nice little run here. Is he going to be able to make the difference, though? Make this move at the same time? That's the problem.
Yeah, well, it's all about how Jack Ashton will defend against Tommy Patero at the moment as they go through Schlossgold and then down the hill. So you can just see they're pretty equal in terms of how they approach the circuit, but they want to make sure that the first exchange between them is it's been relatively clean, as we still got about a quarter of the race to go. We've got just over 5 minutes remaining on the timer, so this has been a really clean battle, and that just goes to show racing respect between the pair. But it's just dependent on when Patero does pull the trigger, not if, but then how is Ashton going to anticipate what the Finn is going to do in the Ferrari behind him.
Yeah. Don't know how Patero is going to work this. Ashton's stoutly, everybody's aware of what Jack's capable of here. Now, what's Patero going to do? He's showing some real pace in that Ferrari. They nailed turn number 1. They separate the sausage curbs there. They don't take wheels on it. They put the car either side of it and they're going into Remus now. Patero still tucked in behind. This is the closest battle, apart from the Edwards-Whitman one, which is going for it further down the order. But let's see how this one goes. Ashton, the guy don't need any introduction. He's a driver coach for a reason, and literally he knows what he's doing on the racetrack. So it'll be interesting to see how Patero's going to handle this, because you're going to have a very stoutly defending Jack Ashton with Tommy Patero there as well.
Well, I mean, if he's going to go for it, he's got to go full bore. He can't go in there, half cocked, so to speak, because otherwise it won't work. And he could throw it a bit late, outbrake himself, and then go pinballing into the side of Ashton. And that's something that they won't want to have happen.
Yeah, they're not going to want to get involved with each other or tangle with each other. But at the same time, for Patero, he's now got to look and try and do something. He's been following the back. He's been staring at the back end of that Ferrari for a long time now. He's got to surely be trying to make some difference on what's happening here. Whitman and Edwards are swapped places again. But Patero needs to do something, Alex. I'm not saying max it. I'm saying, move. Put him under pressure. Give him the aggressive Ferrari. Get him to think what that horse is going to do in behind him. Because at the moment, Patero, in a way, is... No disrespect, Tommy, if you watch this back, mate, but he's not really doing anything.
No, I think the thing is that when you've got the unstoppable force versus the immovable object, it's quite difficult to see how that situation is going to play out, and it's been pretty much a stalemate between the two since we went lights out over 17.5 minutes ago. So it's just about maximising how you get around the circuit. Now, I can see that Patero's best opportunity is coming out of Redbull Mobile and then just going hell for leather on the accelerator pedal and just negotiate Nicky Lauda at turn 1 very quickly. But it's when we get to Remus, that's when Ashton really comes into his own, and the gap goes from 2/10 in the braking zone to about 5/10 on the run down to Schlossgold. So this is where Patero's got to be a little bit cleaner, and you're going to see the gap start to come down. I mean, it's 5 and a bit tenths of a second. The previous lap, it was 3.5 tenths when he came out of Red Bull Mobile. So he's losing a bit more time now, but it's up this hill, which is where Patero gains the most ground on Ashton, as we now go under half a second between the pair, he needs to be pretty much right with him on his rear diffuser. Otherwise, I don't see any reason how Patero can go past. But that time, into Remus, Patero was a bit more measured, a bit more confident on the turn-in and on the brakes. So the gap didn't go up, it stagnated for like literally a couple of seconds.
Yeah, it did there as well. Brillo, is there no track limits or are they just right on the edge? Redbull is very, very funky on track limits. You can sneeze at a curb and you get an off track, and then going through Roush and Worth, you can take a lot of the curb on the inside. You can see here, watch how much they take on the exit of this one, and you'll get away with it. That's the thing. There's a lot of it's a bit of a different scenario here. There you go. You can take all of it and not get an off track. It's really confusing, especially when they come round 9 and 10, because if you run a little bit wide at 9 and 10, you will end up getting an off track and a slow down here as well. So they've got to be a little bit careful. They can do that, but on the final corner, they've got to be a little bit tighter, which is what they're doing. So,
wobble there from Patero. He nearly lost it.
Final lap. I think Patero's going to get him.
No, he's too far away. He's too far away. I mean, he came out of Red Bull Mobile, 2 wheels on the grass, and the back end of the prancing horse decided to have a little bit of a wobble, let's say, and that lost Patero not just traction but also time. But look how deep he is onto the brakes into Remus as the timer hits 0, JP.
Yeah, I've got a funny feeling this could be Ashton's one here. I'm interested to see how Werner and Metakos are going at the moment. I don't want to go back to them just yet. I want to see if he's going to make a move into Schlossgold. He's not. We'll have a quick look because Werner and Metakos are starting their final lap, and this is the battle for the Class 2 victory. This is for 15 points here. Ashton's running in through Roush at the moment. And don't forget, Werner's had no front end whatsoever. Metakos is tucked in behind it. I can't remember if it was actually Metakos who took it away, or it might have been Mitchell and that one. But Metakos in the Acura, Werner in that McLaren, Ashton on his way round into Rindt and is leading the way there. So we'll keep it go back to Jack now, and then we'll pick up on this lead battle. But it is going to be Ashton. Ashton's going to take the win in race number 1. Patero's going to grab second in class number 1 as well. Ashton goes over the line. Checkered flag is... Whoa! No, they've got to keep... No, hold on, what? Barney had a white flag. Watch Barney's flag, is white.
Oh, that's strange. So, must be 20 minutes plus a lap then. Well... it is checkered flag. It is showing checkered, so that's quite interesting. No, it was Jerry Werner punting Ben Mitchell from behind. That's where he lost his front bumper, if you might remember. That was on the opening exchanges. So Jerry Werner doing a stellar job to hold on, but Metakos is closing in. Gap is about 3/10 as they go through into Red Bull Mobile. You can just see how it's like Bambi on ice for Werner with that chronic understeer, but Metakos could get the run. He's got Pratt right up his rear. They're going to be side by side. Werner takes class 2 by just under 3/10 from Metakos. So shout out to Jerry Werner. Might have punted Ben Mitchell early doors in the rear. And then, well, we did see them come into contact a little bit later on in the race. We've still got Luke Edwards, who's going to cross the line in 6th in Class 2 with no front bumper. It looks like a bit of a transformer behind but what was the bumper on that Mercedes as Steve Whitman rounds out P7. But yeah, some good racing there. Yeah, a few incidents, but that's part and parcel of the opening race of a season.
I'm so confused. Jack Ashton takes the victory with Tommy Pissarro and Stefan Klarman in your 1, 2, 3. Jan Janchik in 4th. Matt Warner 5th. Alistair Clark in 6th. Jerry Werner did grab the win in class in 7th place with Metakos in behind. Pratt there in 9th, Nick Green rounded out the podium. Then Ian Knox, Peter Enquist, Tim Wybrow, Luke Edwards, Steve Whitman, Ben Mitchell and Eric Orchin, who unfortunately did not finish. Full reverse grid for race number 2. So we will have Eric Orchin is your pole man with Ben Mitchell in second, Steve Whitman third, Luke Edwards, Tim Wybrow, Parker Enquist, Ian Knox, Nick Green, Andrew Pratt, George Metakos, Jerry Werner and Alistair Clark. And then in behind that is Matt Warner, Jan Janchik, Stefan Klarman, Tommy Botero and Jack Ashton. So a lot still to play for here. Jack all the way at the back, Alex, at the moment. How's he going to cope with this?
Oh, both him and Tommy Patero, they've got to do a top gear from the rear. And so that's going to be an interesting one to watch, James.
It definitely is. Right, guys, we are going to get underway very, very shortly. And we will see what these guys are going to do there. But keep an eye out with the guys in the rear end. Tommy Patero, Jack Ashton, they're not going to want to hang around. They are going to want to get on their bikes a little bit, but it is going to be very, very much decided by patience here, Alex. I think that's going to be one of the major things going into race number 2.
Well, they do say patience is a virtue, but some throw that right out the window and don't give it a second thought. But yeah, I think the first race, as I said, it was going to be that sort of like put the feelers out, see how things go. And now race 2, people have a better gauge of not just the track, but also the competition. And also there's no sort of fixed policy on whether drivers might decide race by race to change their cars, because we've got the Temple of Speed, Monza, next up on the 4th of May. And that is where you're going to need grunt behind the rear wheels of your car.
Yeah, definitely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your hats here. Going to be green very, very shortly. We're into Schlossgold, turn number 4. If you really want to be normal, turn 3 if you can count. Yeah. Obviously on the oh, Alex, you know that as well. The motorbike.
I know that as well. Turn 2. It is not the turn 2. It's a little.
No. Yeah, it's not even that, is it? For these cars, it's just straightening it up. It's ridiculous. That run from turn number 1 down in the bottom left-hand corner, guys.
Yeah.
To turn number 3, which is Remus at the top left-hand corner, there is that little kink in the middle, which they do count as turn number 2, where the rest of us normal people just ignore that, and we end up sounding like we can't count as we go 1 to 3 to 4. So there we go on that one.
That's why we use the corner names, just to confuse everybody a little bit more as well. I mean, if Jeremy Clarkson saw that corner, he'd just go, "This is where I can apply the power," you know, just like just gun it. So that's one of the things. But yeah, here we go for race 2.
Coming in to the right hand up of turn number 9. That is about the only normal corner number with turn 10. What's going to happen here? I've got a funny feeling Orchard is gearing up to go here. He's opening up the power already. You can see him just stretching. Now he's backed and back up. Now he's gone. Ladies and gentlemen, race 2 is going green. When are we going green? Now. It's green, 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 all the way down here as these guys go hurtling in, 3 and 4 wide. There's a send from the middle. Hold my beer, he says. And off he goes. Oh, contact almost. Orchard runs wide as well. Orchard's running side by side with Mitchell. They are wide. Oh, that's never going to work. It didn't work. It's coming on the track. Oh, boof, bish, bang, boom. And they're still going 3 wide. All the way up into turn number 3. It has been like Skittles and somebody got a strike earlier on. Oh my God, Alex Goldschmidt. Have we ever seen a start quite so chaotic?
Well, it was Enquiries that actually threaded the eye of the needle going into T1. And as the Who's Roger Daltrey would say, they sure play a mean pinball.
Yep. And now you can see there, Enquist in that McLaren, the side-by-side with Metakos, Whitman and Wybrow in pit lane. Ashton is, I think he's just come out of the pits at the back there. Pratt's there, Patero is in behind Ashton, which makes me even more confusing why the timing towers got them the other way. Enquist is in the mix at the beginning, but I tell you what, that was just absolutely crazy chaos. And we'll kick it off here. That's the first little bit of contact. Then there's Wybrow in there as well with Whitman, and then 4 wide. And then all of a sudden, bish bang, and then Whitman comes in the back of the track, gets an absolute bump from the back end of that Porsche there.
And the thing was, and Patero was also caught up in the crossfire as a direct correlation. It just goes to show how a lot of people. Oh, it's like literally Porsche doing Porsche things, and an Acura gets caught in the crossfire, and it was just like, yep, yeah, you're going off, you're going off, you're going off. Yeah. Whoopsie daisy.
And you can just see it now. It's going to be one of them things where it's going to be somebody going, "You've got a penalty. You've got a penalty. You've got a penalty. We all got a penalty."
It's like ice hockey players being put in the sin bin as knocks up the inside of the Corvette of Orchin. As Nick Green goes a little bit wide coming out of Schlossgold. Touching the kitty little... Edwards with a potential send there through into Hal on Orchin. And they're going to be nearly side by side through into Verth. Not quite. The Mercedes backs out of it. Good call there by Luke Edwards to keep that front bumper staying on that Mercedes this time. And he's got Jerry Werner behind him. But Eric Orchin leading Class 2. Ben Mitchell in the McLaren leading Class 1. Cat amongst the pigeons? Hell yes, folks, here in Race 2.
This is all mixed up. Look at the overall. You've got Class 2s back further behind Class 1s of Orchin, Edwards, Werner, Matakos and Green. You've got Ashton trying to make his way through the field somewhere. There he is. Apparently he is in front of Tommy Patero, who's in behind him, who got caught up with the biggest dose of netcode I think I've ever seen for ages. Andrew Pratt has gone from 9th to 14th somehow in that little bit of confusion. We've got Klarman has got his own problem at the moment in the sight of Matt Warner. Tucked in right behind him. Warner's going to give him a nice little bump going up into Remus here as well. And did you see what was on the side of that car?
McMuffin liveries. Yeah. Absolute classic. It's a bit like when Clarkson, May and Hammond had that BMW 3 Series doing the 24-hour brick car on Top Gear with the Stig. If anyone might remember that. I'm not going to mention what sponsors were on the side, but it was quite amusing. Let's just say when you open the front doors.
Yeah, that was the classic one, weren't they? They were in the deep south of America. They
yes.
The car, they wrote on each other's car. Oh, mate. I'm surprised they come out of that alive.
Yeah, especially with Hammond having the pickup truck as well, that nearly ended up in the drink when they did the heavy braking test.
Yeah.
There's been quite a few heavy braking tests here as well today, let's not forget.
Yeah, there definitely has. We're on board with Nick Green. He's chasing down Matakos. Matakos got Werner. We've got two Class 1s up front of Mitchell and Knox. They're leading the way at the moment. They're having their own little ding-dong. Klarman is in now. Green's gone on the defense already. You can see him go slightly to the left. He's going to send Klarman round the long way round here. Klarman's got to go and put it in deep. He did do it. Over Green and through he goes. Warner is there with Green now. Warner in that Mustang expected to have a little bit more boof than the Porsche here, and it's not really making inroads here for Matt Warner. Can he quite get the whistle out of that Mustang that the Porsche has in 6th gear, which is really annoying if you're driving the car?
That's Mitchell. That's Mitchell, who was leading at one point. And what? Oh dear! It's
where are you coming
Jaws
from?
music. Bang! There it is.
Oh, brother.
And now we got Class 2's Luke Edwards leading the way in the Merc.
Well, he's leading the overalls now. I would take the Merc to be fair as well. Oh, Orchin having that Corvette sideways. Green's gone back up the inside of Klarman. Klarman, took the nose off Green now. Ashton's made his way up 9 places into 4th place. Yanchik is in behind that. Patero not really making inroads, but is carrying damage. Gary Werner's got one complete car for race number 2 for a brief moment. He's got Yanchik tucked in right behind. I'd say brief moment, Alex. I'm not quite sure he's going to last long.
That's why I just went, yay. Like, it's just very muted at that point.
It is. Yes.
But Yanchik just
up on his own.
Oh dear. What is iRacing doing to our eyesight at the moment? Well, Who knows? Unless he's, I mean, it
I was
oh,
already
well,
hanging. Hold on a minute. I'm sure that was in one piece 5 minutes ago.
that was.
Where did he get? Oh, he is still loose though. All the way back here.
Oh well, there we
no.
well there we go. So that is going to be the other Mustang of Matt Warner, wasn't it? So there's been contact, so he's hit the front end. Oh dear, Skittles again.
Klarman and Orchin. Oh, where did the dive come from now?
Klarman moved quite significantly there, and bang, there's the contact. Oh, Nick Green gives Orchin another little, well, a tap, an unavoidable tap, unfortunately, just because Klarman, you know, the big change of direction going into Schlossgold, and then it just all kicked off as a direct correlation.
Hey,
You're speechless.
I'm trying to word it in a way that I'm being politically correct, not James, please come to the steward's room.
Yes, I remember that story.
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times. I'm wondering, with what we saw yesterday in the BWSC and what we're seeing today, is there a shift in the moon cycle that may be causing the red blood to go flowing to the eyeballs of some of these drivers? Now, we've got another free broadcast coming up later on today, guys. We've got OGRL very shortly. I'm just worrying at the moment that the weekend's shift in the cycle of the moon may have caused us to have some form of animalistic driving standards that are going on behind the wheel at this moment in time.
I think probably everyone's managed to claw back the hour of sleep they lost when we went an hour forward. So that's probably where it's like. It's like, yeah, I don't care. I'm just going for it. I'm going to give it heavens to Betsy and see what happens as Enquist is having a battle with Jan Janšik. Janšik trying to throw the Porsche around the outside of all places at Rauch, and he might get the job done through into Verth if he's lucky. Cuts across the nose of Enquist and job's done. Great work there by Janšik.
Yeah, not great work here by Knox. Oh!
Oi!
Ashton just wiggles his way through as well. That's how you slow down for yellow flags, everyone. Well, just in case anybody's paying attention. It's not yellow flag, oh great, I'm going to gain positions. It's yellow flag, please make sure you're paying attention. Because Ashton has paid attention to the point of where he's moved himself up 13 places from the back end. He's rushed nothing. He's probably minimalistically overtaken maybe one car productively on the road, and the rest of his game, make that 2 now, because he's looking like he's going to head up the inside of Edwards here. Edwards, Jesus, bro, how much room do you want to give him as well?
He's opened the farm door barn, with the farm barn door on that one, hasn't he? Like literally,
dude.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah,
But well, actually, he's not quite giving it away. They're going into Schlossgold, and Edwards just about covering off. Not by much though, but Ashton is trying. I mean, you know, you look at him and Patero. Patero's made up 10 places, even with the damage. Yeah, I mean that was pretty much I think a formality for Jack Ashton. We know the caliber of the man anyway, and I've known him for quite a few years anyhow. And he's just
swing, bada, safe for Luke Edwards as well.
I haven't heard that in ages. Oh, we're bringing out the classics today, folks, here at the Novice Racer.
Yeah, Ferris Bueller's Day Off all day, baby. If you ever watch that film, go and watch it. It's an absolute classic. You'll see the swing bada thing come out there as well. Nick Green goes through.
It also made it onto pop culture as well back in the 90s. As well, from a particular song, which some lyrics I don't think I can actually mention on the broadcast. So we'll leave that one.
We're not past
no, we're not going there. We're not going there. But Metakos is leading overall. Warner right up on his case, going through to Remus. So the Acura versus the Stang, and then you've got Jack Ashton. I think we should have the Jaws music burning in our ears. I think it is right about now because he's just systematically got his way up the field, and it's everyone has caused the chaos in front of him. He's gone,
Yeah.
thank you very much. I'll take that all the way, every single day to the bank. 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You give Jack Ashton an opportunity, he will need no second invitation.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. You've got to look at the scenario in and around you, right? He has just worked his way from the back end. There's been no contact. As I said, minimalistically, I think he's overtaken 2 people, maybe aggressively on track. Everybody else has sent themselves off into the summer yonder who want to play, auditions for Stranger Things and the Upside Down, should we say. And he's just gone about his business. He's caught him up now. And I got a funny feeling, Warner and Medicos, this fighting is not helping you. You could have really done with this just leaving each other alone, getting on voice chat saying, look, I'm just going to follow. Drive your line. Let's follow. I'll tell you my lap times. Because at the moment, he's just pulling in time like a man with an anchor attached to the back of that Mustang, and he's just closing in at a rapid rate of knots. I'd be interested to see how he handles this, but we've got the Enquist, Werner, Knox, Klarman, Pratt battle going on as well. I just want to see how this pans out here and what Jack is going to do, because he's got it basically there in front, and he's got the win in his own hands, really.
Yeah, I mean, also the fact that you look at the fact that Metakos and Warner, Metakos goes a little bit wide going through into Schlossgold. They were both about the best part of 0.8 of a second slower than the man behind them. So Ashton now is going to, he'll analyse the situation on the fly. So it's a case of split-second timing through into Wörth. So it's through the left, through the right, and you can see that Ashton is just carrying so much more momentum. He's right on the rear diffuser of Warner as they're going to head down into Rint. And Warner was very close to keeping that door open, but Ashton now is right with them. They come through into Red Bull Mobile, turn 10. And with 6 minutes to go, Ashton is there. He could get 2 for the price of 1 if he's lucky. He's pulling out of the slipstream now, decides to think better of it. Discretion being the better part of valor, through into turn 1, and this is where Ashton's going to capitalise as long as they don't make a mistake. Metakos could have nearly lost it there, and Ashton, using the pure slipstream behind the Mustang, he's going to find an opening here.
Oh, he left the door open. He left the door open. Warner, the door was just left open there. You should have stayed on that inside line. Then Jack round the outside. Jack's going to come in now as well, but he's doing all the things in this race that Patero didn't do in the first one. He's jinking about. He's giving them something to think about. He's moving around, upsetting them, putting the nose out of the car. And where Patero played follow me leader, Ashton's making them known that he's there. He's aggressive all the way through. He clears Warner. There's another show to Medicos. He knows that all he's got to do is pressurize Medicos to the point of where he's going to make a problem. Ashton's going to go up the inside. Job done. Medicos there has got no defense. You might as well let Warner go and let Warner have a go at him, because at the moment you're trying to run side by side. Warner's trying to push Ashton along. He's going to be going into turn number 9 now through the right-hander. Warner's round the outside. Sent it through. Now he's got to go after Ashton. It is a battle of a class. Class 1 up front. George Medicos class 2 in behind him, and he's closing in as well. But I think that battle was way too long. I think Medicos might have been productive more letting Warner go there.
Yeah, I mean, if he'd let him, just let him buy and just go, right, okay, I know you're going to be quicker than me, just go for it. And that gave Jack Ashton every opportunity possible for him to facilitate his way from the back of the field to the front of the field. And that is 16 places gained. And, talk about splitting. Oh, Knox got a tag from Klarman, didn't he? So we're going to see here Werner and Enquiries, I think, having a little bit of a 2 and 8. Werner gets the tag from behind. Pinball Wizardry. Werner gets split off exit stage left. Enquiries stage right. And then, Klarman in for a second incident. Turning around Knox.
He just ran him over. He literally, pure styling, NASCAR'd him.
And then Eric Orchin was off as well just afterwards.
He don't even stop.
So,
He's just like, round you go.
Like, I'll keep the throttle pinned in, and Enquist tags inadvertently the right rear of the Corvette, so Orchin goes around. We're going to watch on board from Klarman. So, look, he's still turning that. He's still got the throttle pinned.
There's a slight little lift in the middle of the curb, but he didn't make a big effort to get that car stopped. I've got to be honest. And it did look like he just ran him over, pure NASCAR style at Talladega. And now Ashton's out in front, 2:52 on the clock. We're doing 1:30 lap times. We might just get 3 more laps here, just about. If it's going to be dependent on what Ashton does, but Ashton's just out in front. He's going to take a full 30 here this evening in that Class 1. He's done a great job. Warner in second place as well. To fair play to him, but yeah, there's some very, very interesting decisions, steward decisions. I'm not quite sure if anything like that's coming here. Patero trying to make his way up, sitting third in class at the moment. He's got Nick Green in front of him. Not that this matters, as you can see on the left-hand side, it was 15, 12, 10 for Ashton Warner. Patero, 15, 12, 10 for Medicos, Green and Edwards. So Green really doesn't have to fight this one, Alex, if he doesn't want to.
Yeah, I think you must be right. It's something in the local water, wherever any of these drivers, plus coupled with the moon cycle, that everyone's just lost the plot a little bit here. For those that have been trying to keep out of trouble, I mean, yeah, Patera doing a really, really good job despite heavy front end damage to that Ferrari. He's just trying to get the points, get the solid points. I mean, this will give him a total of 22 after the 2 races. Picked up second behind Jack Ashton in race 1, and now runs P3 in class, 8.3 seconds behind Matt Warner, who's now 2.3 seconds. I mean, Ashton, the minute he got in front of Warner and Metakos, he was just away and clear. He just knew, okay, right, I've got that clean air. I can now put the laps in. I can now get away from everybody else. So looks like we've got the white flag being shown, so to speak, according to the timing. But
yeah,
never say never. We'll ignore that. But I think it's more the case of Patero is going to try and see if he can. He's now getting a bit more aggressive. Have you noticed the right front wheel is still tracking to the right? So that car's got damaged steering as well. Patero, look, it's not straight. It's down to the left-hand side. So Patero is dealing with damaged steering as well. Kudos to him if he gets a P3 at the end of this race.
Yeah, he does. You can see the over-rotation to try and get that front right rotated, but Ashton's going to come over the line once more. He's only got a few more corners to go. He's going to take that double win. Warner's going to grab second. It looks like Patero is going to grab third place here in class number 1. Medicos looks like he should hold on to class number 2 with Green in behind and Edwards in behind that as well. But Ashton comes over the line. Race 1 winner, race 2 winner. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Mr. Jack Ashton for race number 2 there. Great job from him. Matt Warner in second. George Metakos wins class number 2. Nick Green comes over the line with Tommy Patero. Both men are in third place in their respective classes. Luke Edwards had an up and down, but he's finished third in class number 2. Jerry Werner here winning, coming down over in fourth in class number 2 after winning the first one. So lots of things to unpick here, Alex. And I'm not quite sure where to start, to be honest.
Oh, there's been a bit of afters as well. Some more things to pick up. Oh, where does one begin?
Really no.
Oh, and Kristen Werner.
Yeah, they were having a little bit of a ding dong. That was the final lap there. Not ideal scenario, but let's bring you up the results for race number 2. No, we won't. Okay, thank you very much. Waiting for, is that Ian Knox?
Yeah.
There we go. We were just waiting for Knox to get over the line. Right, ladies and gentlemen, here are the results. Jack Ashton, your winner again with Matt Warner and Nick Green, your 1, 2, 3. Tommy Patero taking the win in 4th. Luke Edwards in 5th. Why did Medicos end up down there? And I'm wondering if that is a penalty that he
That's what I'm
did
thinking.
not take off before he crossed the line, because he is all the way down now in 12th place. So that promotes Green for the win. That should then give Edwards second, and Werner did grab a podium. But you can see the scores on the doors on the left-hand side there, ladies and gentlemen, as well. Mitchell, Wybrow, Whitman, 1 and 2 laps down respectively. But on the upside of it, the only person who didn't score points in race number 2 was Ben Mitchell, because points go down to 8th place there as well. Can you sum up the first round for me, Alex? What do you think?
Madness, calamity, pinball wizardry, but some good overtaking as well. Some good battles, I think, is how I'd sum it up.
Yeah, there was definitely
or as you like to say, playing Skittles and getting a strike was a good one.
I did like that one, yes. There was a lot to try and unpack in that. I think for a first round, you know, we were always going to get it. I think that's the situation. We were always going to get the first round things like that. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
bringing drivers together is always the same. I've you know, done this myself. I've seen this myself, and I think overall it's not something that's unexpected. I think in the first round, but the upside, round 2 Monza, they don't get that chicane right in turn number 1, mate. Might not have any cars left.
Well, might have multiple Marcus Ericsson incidents, let's just say.
Yes.
And you don't want that happening at over 150 plus miles an hour going into the Rettofilio chicane. So, yeah, I think it's a case that everyone's going to have to sort of dissect from their own perspective, but also openly discuss it with the rest of the community that are part of this league. And that's how people will gain confidence, gain a bit more experience, and go, okay, yeah, I did drop the ball on that one. Yeah, why did I keep the throttle pinned on this? How the heck did that come about? And then you find out from other people. You know, I know for a fact that probably that the Racing League chat on the Discord could be blowing up. So expect both our sets of eardrums, respectively, JP, to feel a little bit of burning after effects afterwards.
Yeah, well, we're going to find out, ladies and gentlemen. Right, that's going to wrap it up. Join us a little bit later on as we've got OGRL starting in about an hour's time. So join us for that one. It's going to be very, very exciting indeed. Of course, we've got the famous, fabulous IGP back later on and the full throttle face-off around 3 from Alton Park. That's going to wrap it up. I've been James Parfitt. I've been alongside Alex Goldschmidt. And as always, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.